Hey guys, this is Randy Rintala coming to you live from Watersound Origins. I'm so excited to bring you a part of why they call me the Oracle of Origins. So continue to watch. This is just the beginning. I can't wait to explore everything that it has to offer. Hello, I'm Randy Rintala, aka the Oracle of Origins. There's a reason behind that, as I've got this wonderful opportunity before me, and I want everyone to be a part of that. Watersound Origins is something that I've indulged myself into, meaning the community that I've chosen to not just work, but to live in, is going to become my life. It's just the beginning stages of a city that's being built in our area that is so unique that so many people are gravitating towards here. We are the most popular community, and with that being said, I feel like my talents and all the experience that I've learned over the years working with some of these builders that we work with in Origins and just my clients and being from the area, I think that's a big thing for people to know your area, not just your product, but the area, the people. You can see the future that's coming. We are very fortunate that we're in the South Walton, because a lot of people who are coming to this area, this is the first time visiting. And, people don't realize Florida is not the same. And I know those who talk about Florida and coming to live in Florida, well, they'll come in and they'll see we call it the 5 points of Florida. Basically, the Panhandle of Florida, which is new to most people, South Florida, which is, your Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale, Miami areas. You've got Central Florida, of course, Orlando. Tampa is more of on the West Coast, but more centralized. Jacksonville, that's the other point that people tend to visit. And then it's here. We see people all the time wanting to visit the 5 points, but they find themselves coming back here for a few different reasons. And that's why I was meaning is that we're very fortunate because we've got this product that's so new, and that's what's really unique. I mean, everything's new. Our airport is basically new, and it's one of the fastest growing airports in the country. We're 25 minutes to the airport, and we're talking about now flights, direct flights. Right now they're doing a lot of seasonal flights, but it keeps expanding to the point where we keep getting updates of the expansions into these larger markets, because we'll find ourselves selling to certain cities, but then we put two and two together and come to find out direct flights into Chicago, for instance, or seasonal flights into Boston, all these new markets that are coming in here. People are just discovering what we have. So what's really unique about our area is the fact that Origins has basically the north side of Highway 98, which is the main thoroughway through from Destin to your Panama City beach. So we're right in the middle there. But on the south side, there's only a small pocket you can build in because the majority of it's state forest. And that's a good thing because like anything else, if you give humans the ability to build on it, they're going to build on it. Well, here you cannot do that. So we have this nice pocket that is just the beginning. We're about 10% into the big picture of the city of Watersound. So that's what makes us unique. And again, I have put myself in this position just from the standpoint, I felt like it was the best thing for me. I had a choice 6 years ago to stay on my own and do general real estate in this area. And again, I am from here. I grew up in the Fort Walton Beach, Destin area. I've been out here in the Santa Rosa Beach, Inlet Beach area for the past, now 20 plus years. I've got a family now. I've got a wonderful wife, 4 children. We've got them spread out from 6 years old, 8 years old, 15 and 16-year-olds. So we finally have a driver, so beware. But at the end of the day, we have a great life, and I want to share that with everybody. I really do. I mean, the big thing with me is I'm so passionate about what I do because I really feel like I was put in this position, and when I get into the true story of how I got this, you'll really see how I am so just lucky that I get to take everything that I've learned over these 20 years of real estate, and I can put it all together now for all the people who want to use my services here, especially in the Origins. That's all I'm going to concentrate on. I am Origins. That's how I put it. I feel like I know the product better than everybody because of the fact that I've been selling out here, not just for the length of time, but I just don't sell. I throw myself into the actual construction process. And that's what really separates me from most, is the fact that I work hand in hand with a lot of the builders to make that dream come alive. Honestly, that's what it's about to me. It's, turning no's into yeses. And that's what I pride myself in. They call me the troublemaker around here, and not to the point where I'm, a menace to society out here or anything, but it's more towards making the builders think and putting them back into positions where they're like, yes, okay, yes, we can do that. Not to say that they didn't want to, but you got to understand out here it's production. But we also want to, give a little bit. Well, I've been able to give a lot and get a lot for folks. And that's what I want to do, is basically kind of just explain that, I just feel like there's a better service out there for folks, especially when it comes into real estate, but especially in Origins, because again, Origins is the future of South Walton. There is nothing like it. All these people that are coming in from these bigger markets are used to these master plan communities. Well, here we don't have a lot of them. And if we did, they're short-term rentals. Well, we don't have short-term rentals in here. That's huge. Because I can tell you, right after COVID, a big thing happened. Obviously, the influx of Florida. Everyone was coming to Florida. And a lot of people's mentality, especially those who could afford it, was, if I'm moving to Florida, I'm going to live by the beach, until they actually did it. And they found themselves in communities that were mainly short-term rental. And that's hard to raise a family, because that's the big influx that you found here in Florida that's happened over the past 4 years. The amount of families that have moved here, it has been a game changer. From the municipalities, the school systems, all the things that have to be planned out, we were caught by surprise. But here, the best thing about our area is the type of builders and developers that we have here. They are prepared for this. They have seen the future, where, national builders, especially in the Bay County, which is right next door to us, they used to say no. They weren't ready. They didn't think we had the ability to keep up with their type of production. Now they're knocking on the door. They want in, and the developers around here are picking and choosing them. So it's been a game changer. That's been over the past 10 years. So as I was mentioning, Origins is just a totally different animal for our area. It's a blessing because it's all brand new. That's the other big thing too. Being that, you can go through all kinds of cities, and you're going through a lot of older areas that are trying to, match up to the new areas, and it just takes a long time for it to transition. Well, not here. I mean, South Walton, again, we know how many people visit here on a year-to-year basis. Well, what happens is they get a little piece of that vacation, that 3-day vacation, that 7-day vacation. They want more. All of a sudden, they're visiting maybe 2 times a year. And especially our biggest market. Our biggest market is our Atlanta market, Nashville, Birmingham. So they're within pretty much 5 to 7 hours, especially the Atlanta market. I believe one year we sold pretty much about 20 to 25% of all the homes here to the Atlanta market. It's because this is where they find them their getaway. But as we know, after COVID, life changed for a lot of folks, especially when people can work remotely. That was the big game changer. Because as many people wanted to move to Florida or move to a more of a leisure type lifestyle for not just themselves, but their families, they couldn't get away, but now they can. And it's actually stuck, because at one point we didn't know if that was going to stay, but it sounds like, and it looks like, a lot of industries are allowing their people to stay. But the best thing about us is we have ability to commute out, because that new airport is huge. Because again, it's only 25 minutes from where we're sitting here in the middle of Origins to the main terminals, and then to access in, especially the fact that most people do drive in. I mean, within 10 to 15 minutes in each direction, you've got the main highways, 331, Highway 79, that get you to I-10 and beyond. So with all that, we are right in the middle of that pocket. That's what makes us, again, so unique. We got State Forest below us. We've got the beaches, the most beautiful beaches in the world, honestly. If you haven't been down here, you've got to see these. There's a reason why this place thrives. And God bless this place with natural resources that you can't replicate. That's the bottom line. Especially like this. I can tell you this. I was involved with a short-term rental company, meaning I owned it, and long-term rentals and general real estate. And for years, you sat there and you asked yourself, why is it that everybody wants to come to the Destin, Santa Rosa Beach, meaning South Walton, and they bypassed all these other beaches that they could have stopped in? It's because of these natural resources. And it's not just even that. The way this is set up, it makes you feel like you are in a different area. It just creates this different feel. We call it the lifestyle, South Walton lifestyle. And it's out there, and especially if you know 30A, there's a reason why the 30A stickers are across America. So many people, when they come in, they just want to take that piece home with them, whether it's a shirt, a hat, stickers, doesn't matter. But 30A is thriving, and we are 1 mile above 30A. And again, what separates this community is the fact that it is a non-short-term rental community. So at the end of the day, the least rental that you would ever see in here is 6 months in a day. That's what's considered long-term rental. So it's a long-term rental only, but majority of people in here are actually primary owners and true second homeowners, because that's the one thing too with our area. Of course, it's tourist driven, but all these people that come in, didn't realize too, when they were buying second homes, true second homes, that they were buying in Airbnb type community, short-term rentals, to the point where they couldn't even enjoy their second home. Well, we found an influx of people actually utilizing Origins as their true second home. So with the new buyers that came in after COVID, again, the good and bad with that was a lot more people were actually coming down here and vacationing. So we had a lot more congestion down here, to the point where second home buyers or second home owners, they would want to be in a better situation, and we provide that. So it's kind of a safety net for our area, Origins, and it's just something that's, again, you'd have to see for yourself, and I hope you do come down here and make sure that you contact me, because I'm going to give you the ins and outs. I'm going to give you everything that you need in order to make that decision, because we can range from $600,000 to $800,000 communities, 9 to 1.5 and beyond. I mean, we're now at 3 million plus in some cases, and you'd have to see the product, because it separates itself. It's not for everybody, unfortunately. It's tough for first-time home buyers to purchase in here, just due to the fact that the land's a little more expensive, construction's a little bit more expensive, but at the end of the day, the product kind of speaks for itself, because there's a reason why this product is the top-selling neighborhood in all of South Walton, and will always be. There's no competition. There is no competition. Every podcast that we have, we want to highlight a certain property. Today, we're going to highlight a model home that's coming for sale. This is by Huff Homes here in our new community called The Pines. The Pines is centrally located inside of Origins, and this particular home is our top-selling floor plan. It's been our top-selling floor plan for about 4 years now and running. 48 East Firethorn Circle is going to become available, and it is optioned to be fully furnished and should be available sometime here in the next month. So if you have any questions, make sure to click on that link, and then we'll get you all the information needed. But again, it is our model home that we are moving model home sites, that we're going to have an available, beautiful home ready to go coming very soon. Then match in what they've done with the school systems. Walton County is now ranked number 2 in the state of Florida for public school systems. You have all kinds of charter type schools, private schools. We've got the college that's expanding where people can dual enroll, and that's within 15 minutes of Origins as a whole. But from the school standpoint, like my kids, for instance, my 2 younger ones, they go to Dune Lakes Elementary. It's approximately from my house about 7 minutes from here, and that's pretty much the point of where Origins is going to end. It's about a 4-mile stretch from where we stand here, where all the new construction is, and I'm welcoming you into my home. From here to the school, it takes me 7 minutes each morning, and it's an amazing school. It's about 3 years old. All the intramural fields for your sports, for the kids' sports, are located right behind there. It's just something that all these people that have moved to this area, especially my clients who have children, are just in awe. They were thinking public schools, they can't be that good. Where are your private schools? And I told them, you need to try it. You need to come and see what it's about. This is a little bit different here. It's just set up different. And call it what you want. The fantasy world that we live in here, it is what it is. Because it is. This is the place where people are getting away from. I mean, heck, I have a client that just moved in from New York City himself. And he said the first time he came down here, he was skeptical. He said, how could it be? Because his wife kept praising it. She had to come down here before him. And he went back one more time and said he was done. And he came back down here, and now his life and his wife, they're in a better situation. Just a little example. There's so many stories that I'm going to get into, because that's what gets me up and gets me going. I mean, not just that, but this opportunity. It's hard for me to even explain, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to have this relationship where you're going to learn so much from me, and I'm going to make that dream come alive, because that's what it's about to me. I get up and I attack the day, and I think everybody who meets me and understands me and sees all the work that I put in want to be a part of that. And then it just keeps going from that point, because again, I've got so much that we can accomplish. I mean, when you can take a production build and put your fingerprint on it and create your home off of that, that's a sense of pride. That's just a sense of something that I can't even explain what it does for me, but not just myself. Obviously, the client gets the benefit, but that's the way it should be. And I'm not saying that you can do that in all cases. And obviously, things are within reason, but you got to trust me on it. There's a lot of happy clients that we're going to bring on that didn't realize that was a game changer for them. And we get it, because we're talking about 1 million, 2 million. Heck, our mean average in here is $1.1 million for a home. And when you're spending that type of money, people want to be a part of that. So we try to make that come alive. And it's pretty awesome when you get to work with the builders that allow you to do that. And that's one thing I will say, that in itself is another segment. I'm very fortunate that we have the builders that we get to work with, because there's a sense of pride with that as well. It's different. You got local builders mainly in here that have turned themselves into, I hate that term, production. I'm more of a, yes, there is production, but there's national builder production, and then there's local builder production. There's a huge difference between, and then others take it even to a different level beyond that. But then you can get into that semi-custom, because I'll never say custom. Custom is a whole different animal. Yes, we do have that product right below us at Camp Creek. But in here, it's more of a semi-custom, where it's got to stay within reason, got to stay within certain floor plans. But what's wonderful about that is they truly allow you to, as I was mentioning, put your fingerprint on the home. And they can go to different levels, because each price point will demand certain things that they got to stay within. But just trust us, because there's ability to try to, if we can make it happen, they're willing to work with us. And that's the best part about it, because I will pride myself in that. And because I'm one of those ones that ask a lot of questions, and I try to get those yeses for my clients. And that's the difference. I, tend to be told that I go over and beyond the norm, and I love that. I pride myself in that, because that's what I want. I want to separate myself. And I feel like I do that because of the passion that I have. Plus, it's the knowledge and experience I've learned. Because I'm going to tell you, working with these builders, if you're willing to be taught, they will teach you. That's the thing about it, is that, I think like most people who have their own businesses, because that's one thing that I will say, the clientele that moves into Origins are business owners or past business owners. They've done very well for themselves. So they obviously understand hard work. It's just different. So the point where if you can stand out and show them more, that trust is there, and they give you that opportunity. And that's all I care about. Give me the opportunity. Let me show you what I can do. That's the big thing with me. I'm not about talk. I'm about walk. It's that simple. So with that being said, again, this is just the beginning to try to understand why I've chosen this, because I will get into my story. I'll understand, because it is an awesome story on how I got the opportunity to come out here, and I really believe it was God sent. Obviously, now that we live out here, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think I was going to move an additional 20 minutes outside of my comfort zone, I guess you'd say, my family, my extended family. Because again, I'm from here. My wife, her whole family moved down. So it's just something that it took a lot for me to get out here. But I'm going to tell you, it didn't take long for me to understand that this is the future. And I'm overly excited to be a part of that. And I plan to be a part of that for the next 20 years. Because if I didn't already mention that, this is my 20th year of real estate. I've been involved with general real estate, but mainly new construction. And it went from basically just going with what I was offered from builders to learning how construction worked, seeing if we could modify a few plans to the point where we were designing plans together. Because that's the one thing about being an agent, is that we're talking to the buyer. We're listening to the buyer. We hope we are, because that's where I feel like, I think I've kind of proven myself. All these changes that have happened, so many of them in here, I've been a part of in some capacity, whether it's just a simple suggestion that they've taken their architect and aside and created something off of that, or really indulging myself to the point where they will sit me in meetings with the architect and say, go get it. Make it happen. Don't disappoint us, because I got to look at it both ways. There's so many people involved. And that's the one thing with me. And I'll be upfront about that. I'm a fair guy. That's it. I can't go one way. I will never be a single agent. That's just not me, because I have nothing to hide. I feel like the transaction is fair between a seller and a buyer. That's my position, because other than that, I feel like there's just something disconnected there that just doesn't work for me. So if someone's looking for a single agent, just primarily all about them, that's just not me, because that's not how it works here, especially in new construction, because that's the one thing I need I need all buyers to understand, especially the new buyers that come in. There's nothing to negotiate when it comes to stuff like that. I know everyone says everything's negotiable. That's not always the case, because people take that and they run with it to the point where it becomes about them, and it can't be that way. There's too many other variables involved. If you want that, buy a custom build. So as long as people can work within that understanding, it works. We have 1,000 homes that we've sold so far out here, with 8,000 more coming. So that's the other thing. The opportunity in Origins right now, in my eyes, is endless, because by the time that they're done with their 50-year plan, I probably won't be here. But I plan to be here for quite a bit of those years of actually being involved with real estate sales in here, because the opportunity, again, is nothing this area has ever seen. So I hope that everyone who's watching these, because this is just the beginning, so much information to get into, but I hope people understand that, this is just the beginning. The future, the things that I've seen, the things that we were shown that we can't necessarily tell everybody. I can tell you this. This is my 6th year here out in Origins, and everything they said that would happen has happened. And I've now seen the next 5 and 10 years out. And when I tell you, there's nothing like this in this area that will compete. I'm understating that. I honestly, I'm understating what's coming, because there's, again, when you're building a city this close to the beaches that everybody wants to live in this lifestyle, and you get to be part of this, it's just something where like I said, I wake up and I attack, like, what can I get accomplished today? That's what I'm about. I'm about energy. I'm about getting the job done. No excuses. I'm as resourceful as they come. And I think that's what kind of sets me apart from most. And, again, there are some wonderful agents in this business. There's no doubt about it. There are others that need a lot of work when it comes to things like that. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to focus on what I know I can provide folks. And this is just the beginning for not just opportunity in here from the standpoint of where we're currently located, because it's a 4-mile stretch. Where we are right now, we've got at least 200 to 300 more opportunities. That's the closest access to 30A. And we're talking 1 mile down from the gates in our new town center, which is evolving every day. We're probably, I'd say about maybe 20% into our town center, which now has our Publix, which is it's probably the most beautiful Publix you'll ever be in, because they actually built it for the area. Starbucks just signed and should have their building operational here by the end of the year. And these billion-dollar companies, they've done their research too. One bigger one even than that, we've got a neighborhood Walmart right by the new elementary school. Talk about genius. I mean, you're dropping off your kids, you've got a gas station right there on the corner, brand new. You've got the Walmart right behind it. You've got the fields behind that. So whether you're dropping off your kids, coming in like I did today, dropped off my children, went and got my gas, and it was a perfect, efficient manner, because we all are running around crazy. That's the one thing. As a family guy, I mean, it's a divide and conquer between my wife and our 4 children's activities, that we need things like that. And it's just so well planned out. And that's what I mean, is that this isn't just $1 billion companies coming in. They're going through the developer to make sure things are positioned to make things best for everybody. So like I said, I mean, even last night, I'm coaching my daughter's 8U softball team, and I'm thinking about that Walmart, and my wife was just like, hey, I can go shopping, by the time we get done with practice. It's just little things like that, which makes it so great, because we all are limited with our time. That's the one thing. And so at this point, I just hope that I can share all the new happenings, because I know I've repeated this, but when I tell you this is just the beginning, it truly is just the beginning. And I want to be your source for Watersound Origins, as I've been called, and and I'm known as the Oracle of Origins for a reason. I'm going to make this dream come alive for a lot of folks who trust me. And it really, really makes me proud to be a part of this. And I can't wait for the success for not just the community as a whole, but to help clients out, again, get their piece of Florida, their piece of the South Walton that all these people are coming here and wanting to be a part of. That was a lot easier. You say that. I didn't realize it was 23 seconds. Listen, Joe. My bad.